Okay, welcome everyone. So let's start. First of all, I would like to say welcome to everyone who has joined today's session. So I think there are one or two more people who just messaged that they are going to join. So I have few requests as well. First of all, that kindly try to be in time. There is no problem in joining 5 or 10 minutes earlier than the session time so that you can check your mic, your speakers, everything works fine and you feel comfortable before the lecture. Because if you join after 10 minutes, after 5 minutes, you will feel that whatever teacher has told, whatever has been taught already, and I have missed a lot. So please try to join at least few minutes before, 5 to 10 minutes before the session time, every time, especially when we will be doing the full classes from 1st of June. Right, and there are few guys who are joining today for the first time. There are few guys who have already joined last week as well. So these are extra preparation classes. Even you missed today's one, so you have not missed much. Don't worry about that. Even you missed last one, so these are extra classes for those who are thinking, who are feeling that they are having less IT background and they need to catch up as well. So we were answering. I received a lot of questions from you guys about the training course. So I explained this last time as well. If you still have any question, you can send me a message, but let me explain it quickly that how would the training classes look like. I'll just take 5 minutes on that. And then we will move to our network fundamentals. We will discuss what is a switch, what is a router, how does the network operate at all. Then you will tell me whether you want to study something on subnetting, a little bit of binary conversion, or OSI TCP/IP model. So I'll shed some light on that one as well. Okay, and the people who have missed last week's lecture, admins have the recording of that one, so they have shared in the group. So the people who joined just today, please ask admin will share the recording with you so that you can watch that easily, just like today as well. Okay, so how would the training course look like? The training course is this one. I guess everyone has got this training schedule, right? Please write your replies in the chat window. So is there anyone who still does not have this training schedule? Please write in the chat window so that admins can share with you, because it was shared in the welcome email. Once you did the enrollment, it was shared in the group as well. So anyone guys who still does not have this schedule or who did not understand, so I can unmute you, you can ask me. Please feel free, because I want you to ask question, I want you to understand it fully. So anyone who still does not understand the schedule, that how the classes would look like, at what time, what date will be which class. Anyone guys? Because I don't see anyone, so it means I will consider that everyone understands it fully, that how the classes are going to be, although I'll explain now again shortly. So the classes are going like this. Currently we are at session 0. 0 means these are extra preparation classes before the lecture. So this is what we are doing at the moment, session 0. In 0 we will have these preparation classes every week, 1 or 2 classes, in which we will explain, we will answer to your questions, and we will explain to you all of that, whatever you are asking about the training course, about the networking fundamentals, about subnetting, about OSI TCP/IP model, about anything, any of these topics. Just like last week, we have went through that how to use the simulation software, what is a router, how do we access them. So please, admin, also share both recording in the chat window in the WhatsApp group as well once we finish this one. Okay, so these are extra preparation classes. These will go on in the month of May and start of June as well. Then on 6th of June, we will have our first lecture about network fundamentals, TCP IP model. Then this one tells you that, okay, 7th of June on this time, this Dubai time, you can convert to your local time as well, that which classes we will teach. We will teach about network topologies. We will teach about IPv4, network fundamental, layer 2 switching. Everything will be taught on that day. Then after that, we will move to layer 2 access. We will go for the practical lab. So doing all of this, we will study IP connectivity on these dates, IP services, cyber security as well in here, then network automation. So once we finish this one, then there will be one full month for the revision and preparation. Then there will be an exam conducted by our admin. Once you pass, you will get a certificate from us. Even there are people now who are getting certificates as well for the previous batch. Then there will be one full month if somebody wants to go for the optional Cisco exam. So let me explain this in terms of months again. Please ask if you have any question, but this has been explained already many times. So it goes like this. So on Saturday and Sunday, this was the free class which you have already joined, through which you came here. Then there are preparation classes we are joining today. Today is 19th May, so this is our second preparation class. There was a class last week as well. You can get recording from the admin. Then there will be class on 26th of May, 2nd of June as well. So we will finish this phase by 2nd June. Then there will be full training from 6th June to 4th July. This is the actual training for which you are registering, right? So it will be on Saturday and Sunday from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Dubai time. You can convert this time to your local. It's very easy to convert. There is a website called Time Zone Converter. It is also in your welcome email. So use this timezoneconverter.com. Let me paste the link in the chat window, whatever we discuss, so that we don't miss anything. Okay. So you go here, you just type, okay, 5 p.m., 5:00 p.m. of Dubai time. What would be my time? For example, which country, guys? So can anybody tell your country so that I can convert as an example for you? Kindly write your country in the chat window so I can convert the time for you. Okay, Mr. Inuk says Kenya, Ghana, Nigeria. Okay, so let's say Kenya. So Kenya, it is telling automatically. So it will be, sorry, 5 p.m. So it will be from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. right? Yes, it's gonna work, Chris. But first you have to do like that, whatever I'm doing. You start from here, put Dubai time, write Dubai, then mention the time which you want to know. So follow these steps. If you do it wrong, it will tell you wrong time. So Kenya will be 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And after that, Mr. Dibango said Ghana. So let me put for Ghana. So Ghana, it will be from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. And then Imka says Nigeria. So 2 p.m. But don't worry, just like today, admins have reminded you multiple times. They reminded you yesterday, they reminded you today, 3 hours before the session time. So they are very efficient in that. They will remind you before the session time. What you have to do from your side, please take care of the notifications. Please take care of the messages of the WhatsApp group. That is the reason they are muting the group, so that you don't get so many unnecessary messages. Whoever has to talk personal issues or anything about payment, about something, they can talk to admin directly. So whenever they share an important update, they just keep the group muted for some time, so that whenever next person logs in, he can see whatever has been shared by the admin into the group. So just like this one. So if the group is muted, you will see this as last message. But if the group is not muted, you will see a lot of message. Maybe you wake up in the morning, there are 100 messages. So which you will start losing the interest in the messages, and most of you will mute the group. So please pay attention to the group messages. Okay. And you can convert the time like that. I have shared the website already, and it's in your welcome email as well. It has been written. So coming back, then there will be revision 1 full month from 5th July to 2nd of August. After this full 1 month training, then there will be internal exam conducted by our admins. They will share the link with you. You will conduct. It will be 1 hour exam, I guess, or maybe more than that. So then you will receive the certificates on 2nd of August from us. And then there will be 1 month of Cisco exam preparation, whoever would want to go for that. So the full course goes like this, which I have explained. So May, we are going to do the preparation classes, which we are doing now. Then June, we will have the training, actual training. Then July, there will be revision plus exam and final exam, and there will be certificates as well, which will be issued to you. Then there 1 full month for the Cisco exam preparation. We will give you the real exam questions, the questions which are going to come into Cisco exam, so that you don't fail Cisco exam. We'll prepare, we'll answer to you every week that which questions are that. So this is the overall schedule, guys. I have explained shortly again. So let me not waste much time in here. If you have any question, please ask me. I'll unmute you. Any doubts about the schedule, any doubts about anything, and any doubts about the payments as well. So please complete your enrollments who have not completed yet so that we can continue the classes and everything. Okay. Now today what we are going to study, every week we are studying like in preparation classes. So today I want to tell you how the real networks they look like and why do we need networking? Where does the networking come into the picture? Will dumps be available for us? Yes, Mr. Imka, there are dump files which are shared, the real exam questions. For example, for the previous batch, these are the files. Let me show you. So these are the files which we have shared with them. Preparation. Okay, it's Faisal actually. Faisal, Abu Bakr, those guys are going for exam. There is a group. Let me show you this temporary group for exam. So we are sharing these dump files with them, and then you can see that people are also passing through these dump files. So these are the files whenever we are receiving, we are sharing with you guys that, okay guys, the dumps have changed. These are the updated files. We give you the everything updated. So don't worry, you will pass the exam. Chris says, what's the difference between internal and external exam? Yes, Chris, there are two exams actually. One exam with us and then which you will pass, you will get a certificate. Then there is a Cisco exam as well. These are the dump files which I was saying. So pass through these dump files, you can see a lot of people have passed already and they are valid as well. So you can see that Ephraim has passed from batch number 21. This one. So here you can see that many people have passed using these dumps, and he is saying that this one. So he shared his certificate also with us. Yes, they will be in PDF, Geraldine. So whatever we receive, whatever is going on, so he is also one of our students. He has passed as well. So everybody is saying congratulations, guys. So this is our February group because now they reach to the exam preparation and Cisco exam as well. And he's saying that I have passed from the third file which we gave him actually. So he shared his full feedback or always 100%. Yeah, this is what we said. So he said that I got word to word everything. So don't worry, we prepare you for that. Okay, welcome. I think we should leave questions for now. After the lecture, you can. Yes, Vasu, you are also right. So I have taken few questions. Let's continue with our lecture. And then I'll be able to take. Let's continue on this one because also you can talk to me directly as well. No problem, even after the session. So my name is Arman, and then there is admin team. There is sales team as well, which is about the payments and everything. Okay. So why do we? Nia Kajra says, may you please arrange a time for presentation only after, then come a session for questions. Yeah, we are doing like that. So why do we need a network at all, right? This is the question. Why are we studying OSI model? Why are we studying CCNA at all? Why are we studying information technology, especially the networking? So networking need came actually like that. We have a server, right? We are working on it. We have a laptop. We are working on it. You are attending the Zoom session. I am giving you the Zoom session from server. You are attending to it. We also have a printer on which we are printing some documents. We have connected this printer with this laptop. But now there are some files on this server, right? So there are few files. There is a file on this server actually, which I want to access on my laptop. So one method is that I plug my USB drive in here, and then I copy this file into the USB, then bring that USB in here, and then I just plug it in here and move the file inside here. Also, if this server, if I am using this printer, so I'm connected to the printer. Now this server wants to use that printer, so I will disconnect from here. I will connect the cable directly. So I will disconnect this cable. I'll put into the server. So I'll be moving again and again. Now you can think if in a company You have around 1000 people who are working, you have around 100 servers, you have around 5 printer, you have 5 scanners, you have some 10 security cameras. So how will all of these devices work? You will be making and breaking the connections. So wouldn't it be good that if we connect, instead of doing all of this, instead of doing all of this extra thing, wouldn't it be best that, let me give you an idea, wouldn't it be best that we connect all of them together? We just buy a centralized switch or a networking device. We connect everything together so that we can share. Even there are 1000 devices, they are also connected. 1, 2, 3, there are 1000 devices, right? So they're also connected. Now, this computer wants to access a file, right? So what it would do, it will just open FTP service, or it will just do remote desktop, team view or anything. He will copy the file from there, or he will ping there. Then he wants to print. Now this PC number 1 wants to print on printer number 1. He will just send a print. The print will be sent through switch directly to printer, to a network printer like you and me, we are doing every day. Server wants to access something. He wants to print something. Somebody is sitting, they can print directly as well. So it goes like that, right? This is how the networks are built. Why do we need? Now yours and my part starts from this middle. These devices don't belong to us. These are end user devices. This is simple plain IT, but the network part, the interface on network of the computer belongs to you and me, the network engineer, the IT engineer, right? The network part, that how the server will communicate, belongs to you and me. But how the databases are saved there, so database belongs to the database engineer. Similarly, printing, the electronic circuit does not belong to us. If there is a fault inside, if you put water on the computer, they should not bring to you and me for the repair. They should bring to an IT shop, which is not high level work. So they will repair that computer, that printer. So your and my part is to make this communication happen. But why is it so important in these days? It was not so important before 2000. So let's look back. What happened previously? Why the networking is so important? Why everybody, why every parent wants his children to become an IT engineer or computer engineer after 2000, right? Let's say this was a year 2010. This was a year 2020. This was year 2000. And then after 2020, there will be something, right? So in 2000, can you guys tell me that how many mobile phones were there in your home and how much were you spending on your mobile phones before 2000? So in 1995, do you remember how many mobile phones were there in your home? Was 0, 1, 2, 3, how many? Okay, Opio had a mobile phone even before 2000 in 1995. No, brother. I am saying 1995, there was no mobile at all. Yes, Dipango, you didn't get my question. So there was, I'm talking about 1990, not in 2000. Yes, there was none. So it means there was no mobile phone at that time. Yes, so there was zero mobile. And how much were you spending? No mobile, no spending. It means you were not putting the airtime. You were not giving any money to the mobile providers. So there were no companies like Vodafone, like MTN. That's why it was not needed. Then the year came 2000. So after 2000, between 2000, now in this time, I am asking how many mobile phones were you having? So this time you can say near 2010, you were having one mobile phone. And how much were you putting? Maybe let's say $1 each person, right? So you were putting $1 per day, just like you are doing these days. Now the year came 2020. So can you please answer now, how many mobile phones are there in your home today? You have a mobile phone, your brother and sister have, your parents, even the young kids, they are giving the mobile phone so that they are secure in the office as well. Yes, Ola says around 10 mobile phones in big homes, in big families. Many says 6, Victor says 4, so 12. So you can see that more than one. Somebody says 20 even in your home. Really? Okay, great. So for example, let's say average, we have now 5 mobile phones in every home, plus we have some laptops as well. Let's say we have one laptop or computer, and then we have also some homes are having TV as well. So around 5 to 10 devices. So it means the expense which you are paying daily on the internet is now 5, and you are paying $5 or like $10 per day. Everybody is paying on an average $5 to $10 per day. So now you can see how much revenue has increased. So MTN was earning how much in here? MTN was earning $0 in here. MTN around 2000, before 2000 were earning only $1 per day from each person, multiplied by, let's say they have 1 billion subscriber at that time. So starting from 0 billion per day, it came to 1 billion per day. Now around 2020, now how much is the revenue? The revenue grew very big. So every day they are earning maybe 5 billion per day. And now the consumption has increased. So it is 5 billion to 10 billion per day. Now you can see how much it has increased from 0 billion in this 20 year. It has increased a lot. That's why the demand for these companies, which is called as Vodafone, which is called as Glotel, which is called as MTN, which is called as British Telecom, so many, Zambia Telecom, a lot of companies. So the demand has increased. You and me, we are talking to each other through their services. So we are also paying. I'm also paying my internet bill for my office. You are also paying your airtime for your mobile phone so that you can get this one. So we are ordering the food through them, online or shopping we are doing. So we are also paying some money to the internet. We are also using YouTube, Facebook, everything. So that's why these companies, they are also looking for engineers. The demand for engineers and IT and networking, it also emerged. So you have now 5 mobile phone in every home. Let's say 1 billion subscriber, which is more than that actually. I just said an idea. So 5 billion people, 5 billion devices, how would they connect to each other? So we have a mobile phone at home, we have a router, we have a laptop at home, right? We have another mobile phone. So how you guys are connected? Either you are connecting your mobile phone through the tower, or either you are connecting to your Wi-Fi router at home, right? So this is your Wi-Fi router, so you are connecting. So it means network is in your home now, which was not there 20 years ago. There was no Wi-Fi router, there was nothing, there was no mobile tower. But now this whole infrastructure is there. That's why they need you and me. That's why they need the network and network engineers, because it is not possible now to run YouTube without network engineers. It is not possible to run Facebook network, it is not possible to continue online education in this COVID-19 epidemic. It is not possible to do the online shopping in this virus time. So it is only possible with network. And now in future, I can see many industries are dying down, but IT is still picking up. So this is the best time to improve your knowledge, so that when the pandemic virus, that thing will go low, then you will be ready with your good skills at that time. So that is why we need network. Now, which things make the network? Clear guys on this one? It is simple things. There is no logic, there is no technical things in that. Now, how do we make the network? Right? So the first device which we need to create the networks is called a switch. If you have a laptop, in simple scenario, one laptop, if you have another laptop at home, you want to connect them together, you will go to the market, you will buy a simple Ethernet cable, which is called as LAN cable as well, Cat5, Cat6, you might have heard. But if you have more than 2 devices, if you also have another laptop, your brother's laptop, so if you have laptop number 1, 2, and 3, then this cable wouldn't be enough. So what you will do in that case, you will go to the market, you will buy a device which is called as switch, which you will buy in $20, $30, like that, right? So you will connect a cable from here to port number 1, connect a cable from here, connect a cable from here. That's all. So this one is called as layer 2 switch. Layer 2 means there are different layers. We will study the OSI model. So whenever we talk about networking, we talk about layers. So you will buy this kind of networking device, which is our core as well. We need to understand it 100%, right? So this switch gives us flexibility as well. Tomorrow, if we have another printer, another something, so we will connect this one with that as well, with the switch as well. Now, what is the purpose of switch? Switches make the network. They create the networks. Now, in your neighbor's home, there is another person. He went to the market. He also connected because he wanted to connect his laptops as well. He wanted to connect his servers, his printers and everything. So he also bought a layer 2 switch as well. Now you and him decided, okay guys, I also have some movies, I also have something in my server in here, so why don't we share with each other? So in that case, but he's on a different network. So the network which he chose was 192.168.0.0/24. So he made the scheme like that. We will study how to make the subnetting and everything in the subnetting section, right? So he also went to the market. He did this one, and then you had already set up your network 10.0.0/24. It means the IP address of PC1 was .1, this was 1.2. .3.4 means 10.0.0.1, 10.0.0.2, something like that. So you said, okay guys, you connected the cable between this, your neighbor and your switch. So will this PC number 4, will he be able to access the files on PC number 1 or maybe server number 5? Will PC number 1 able to access files on the server or not, guys? Please answer the quiz, answer the question. Right in the chat window. They are on 2 different networks, you can see. Will the switch serve the purpose? No, yes. You are right. It will not serve the purpose. Mr. Ebenzer, SU2, Mr. Victor Chengo, Mr. Olawale, Mr. Ibrahim Mohammed, and Diabango. Guys, please take part in the activity, otherwise you will feel sleepy after a few minutes. So the purpose of this one is, don't feel shy, please speak up, please answer. And then Mr. Opio has a question. I can see, but he has muted himself. Mr. James also has a question. Yes, Mr. Opio, please speak up, sir. I have unmuted you. Thank you, Mr. Matthew, Muhammad, Clement, Christian, Bob Wayne, Opio, Ines, Isio, Justice. Yes, sir, please speak up.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir. What is your idea?
I wanted you to,
yes, yes.
I wanted you to evaluate more on the layer 2 switch. Because I did not get it clearly.
What is a layer 2 switch, you mean?
The one you were explaining.
Okay. Layer 2 switch is a device which you buy to connect different computers together. It is a simple device which you buy to connect the switches together, to connect the equipment together. Okay, Mr. Emilu has a question. Mr. Emilu Chidi, please ask. There is a background noise on your side. Please write in the chat window, brother. Okay, so the answer to this question, thank you for answering, Dumisani, just as everyone. No, they will not work. Why? Because they are on different network. This network is 10.0.0, which is pink one, and then this blue network is a separate. So these are 2 separate networks. We have separated them because they are on different IP subnets. So in that case, what we need, we will remove this cable and we will place a device which is called as router. So we will need a router, and then we connect these cables together. So this round thing is always called as router. This square thing is called as switch. So then they will be able to communicate with each other. So they will be able to access the movies and files from here. They'll be able to access each of them. So it means, what is the outcome? The outcome says we need a switch whenever the device is on the same network. So switches create the network, they build the network, they make the network. What are the routers doing? Routers are connecting, you can see it is in the middle of 2 different networks, this blue and pink network. So it is connecting the 2 networks together. On this port of the router, port number 1, port number 2. So port number 1, we have a network which is 10.0.0. Port number 2, we have a network which is 192. So it is connecting them together. So it's last time YouTube, but I haven't got direct means, or my network is too low. No problem, Mr. Frederick. They will share the link into the chat window, into the WhatsApp group as well of this recording. So don't worry about that. Okay. So there are 2 types of devices, and routers are always working based on the IP addresses. Switches are working based on the physical addresses. So let me draw it clearly. It looks like nobody has question on this slide. So let me draw again. We have a device which is called as, we make the switch always like that. So this is called as switch, and switches operate on layer 2. And then we have devices. Then we have these devices which are denoted like that. So whenever we will be studying about routers and switches, we will draw them like that on the paper. So this one is called as router. Routers are always working on IP addresses and layer 3 of OSI model, while switches are working on layer 2. Just remember this one. We will study what is layer 2, layer 3. And then they are working based on the MAC address, right? So now if I have a laptop, right, which has an IP address 10.0.0.1/24, and I have another laptop in here which is on a network 192, it has an IP address .0.1/24. So guys, what should I use to connect this laptop number 1 and laptop number 2 together? Should I use a switch? Should I connect them to a switch like this, or should I connect them to a router like this? So please answer to me. Our preference should be to use the switch because switches are less expensive, routers are more expensive. So first preference should be to use the switch. At router and network which are not same. Yeah, James, we will go to the configuration. Now we are understanding the concept first, brother. Ibrahim says, please sir, explain MAC. Yes, I will go to that. So Ola Wala says router. Ibrahim Ibn Al Hassan says switch. Imka Annie says switch. Clement Kovovo says switch. Ibinzer says router. Many use. Please also write the reason why are you thinking like that. Why do you think it should be a router? Why do you think it should be a switch? And Mr. Ola Dejo Peter says router. And Christian Bobwin says router, connect to the router. Vasu says, Robert Martin, Dibango, connect via switch. Victor says switch. Eunice Egio says switch. Router, sorry. Nia Kacha says, sorry, he doesn't understand. No problem, Ikencha. Ibrahim says router. Muhammad says router. Ibrahim and Hassan switch because it's on the same subnet, same network. No, they are on different. Ibn Al Hassan, you can see 10.00 is different and 192.168 is different. Okay, so we will need a router in that case because we just discussed that when the devices are on different networks, so we will need a router to connect them together. So we will draw a cable to here. We will draw a cable to here. So on this port, we will configure an IP address. This port, we will also configure an IP address. They will be able to talk to each other, right? Now, if I have another PC number 3, which is in here, I have an IP address 10.0.0. Let's say .99/24. So how should I connect them together, guys, if I want the pink PC and the blue PC to work with each other? So in this case, I will remove this cable from here and both of them should go to the switch so that they can talk without a router, and then I will connect this cable here. So this would be the configuration so that in future, because I have free ports here, if another PC comes, another PC comes, another one comes, I can keep on connecting them onto the switch. They can talk to each other, but whenever they want to talk outside the network, so they will use this router. So the real networks, they work like that. So we keep on connecting the same devices on a switch, and then we connect the switches together to the router so that there is inter-network communication. Is it clear, guys? Any question on this one? Please don't feel shy to ask the question, but kindly ask the question which are relevant, what we are discussing, the concept. Because I can see some people are saying, I want cybersecurity, I want this, that, because then this one will not be useful. So better we ask whatever we are discussing now. But you are more than welcome to ask anything extra as well. You can talk to me directly. You can talk to an admin as well. Imka says, Imka has a question. When I take a question, guys, don't think that it is the question of that person only. It is your question as well, because he is presenting everyone. So might be a question came into your mind as well, but you could not ask. but another person is asking on your behalf. So when I am answering, it means I am answering to everyone. Please pay attention to the question and answer as well. Yes, Mr. Imkani, kindly ask the question, sir.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, please, I want to refer back to what the illustration you gave here concerning
Yes,
the
sir.
two pieces. What if using a switch, can the two pieces talk to each other once they are on the same IP range?
Yes, yes, they can. Just like these two pink pieces are talking to each other. We don't need a router. So this one and this one, they are very fine because they are on the same subnet. You can see 10, 10, 10. They are almost on the same, only the last digit is different.
All right.
Okay, welcome, sir. Welcome. Okay, anyone else? Mr. Ibrahim says, why are we connecting the switch between the pink pieces? They are on the same network. Ibrahim, if we have three pieces, two pieces, you are right, we should connect with direct cable. But if we have 3, 4, 5 pieces, so how do we connect them, brother? So that's why we are connecting them together. So Ibrahim, I also see that you have two connections. Okay, so clear. Yes, Mr. Ibrahim, you can speak up as well. I have unmuted you. But I can see, I think one is mobile phone, one is your PC. So there are two terminals appearing here. Okay, we are connecting him is saying that why are we using switch? Why don't we just plug a direct cable between the two pieces? So yes, his answer is right, like I explained. Yes, we will use direct cable. We should not spend some money because this switch is costing us something to the company or to our home as well. So we should go. But if we have more than two pieces, like if we have another laptop in here, then in that case, we will need a switch in between them. Okay, Mr. Ibrahim, you want to speak up, sir?
Okay, I now understand the whole thing. So that was my concern. If you can connect the two pieces with a cable other than the switch.
Yes. Okay, very good question. Right. Yeah, it's a logical question. So it should be the first.
Right. Thank you.
Come into our mind. Welcome, welcome.
Right.
Even after the lecture, when you guys are watching the recording, please keep on thinking like this critically, that please prepare your questions, then the answers will come. Try to answer yourself watching the lecture and then ask me so I can give you. Your questions are more than welcome. So in this way you will learn. Also, we have gone through the packet tracer as well as how to use the software. So let me show you that you can also do the practice using the packet tracer. So this is Cisco packet tracer software, which is a simulation software. It is already in your welcome email and into your drive as well. So please go there, download and install if you have not done so until now. So let me open that packet tracer. It will take 10 seconds to open. And in this case, which IP address does router use to break the two networks? It will use the IP address. Okay, so let me bring back the network, what we just draw. Go back to PowerPoint. This one. So Mr. Anifio is saying, please write open chat as well, write privately so that I can also see the question. When my name and write something, everyone else will not be able to. So he's asking that which IP address should we assign to the router ports. Right, Mr. Anifio, let me unmute you as well so that if I am unable to answer something, I can unmute you as well. Mr. Anifio.
Oh.
Yes, Mr. Anifio, I can hear you now.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
All right. I want to ask, does the router, which plays the middleman role in the network, does it need its own IP address to be able to break the two networks between the two species for easy communication? Who assigned that IP address, or what is its own IP address? How does it come?
Yes, let me answer. Yes, it will need an IP address. So on this router port, what should I assign? I should assign from the same network. It should match with this one. So this IP address should be 10.0.0. anything within the subnet. Dot from 1 to 254. Let's say it is dot 10. So this should be the IP address so that this one now becomes one network on the router port, right? And then on the blue network, this one This one should be 192.168.0. Let's say anything, maybe 100/24. So you are right. Yes, there should be IP addresses on the router ports as well.
Okay. Then another thing I want to add, the subnet, the 24 you use in each of at the end of each of those IP address, what does it stand for? The 24.
/24 means that there are actually 24. We will study in subnetting in detail. 24 means that the last digit can be anything from 1 to 256. Then they will be in the same subnet. But we will study in detail in the subnet.
Okay.
Don't worry for now for this one.
All right. All right. Thank you.
Welcome, welcome. Okay. So what I want you guys to do, I want you to practice yourself the same thing. You can go to this Cisco Packet Tracer. Please download and install from your drive. Is my voice clear now, guys? Sometimes it gets broken due to the Zoom as well. So is it clear? Can you guys hear me clearly? Okay, thank you. Thank you for confirmation, Christian. Great. And sometimes it happens on your side as well, guys. So don't worry if it drops for a while or it's not clear, because this is being recorded as well. So it will be better to watch the recording as well. So this is Cisco Packet Tracer official software from Cisco Network Academy. So please start using this one and start practicing. In last week, we had a full session on how to use this simulation software. So in this one, actually there are routers. These are the devices you can see here on this part. There are devices. So you can drag those devices into the workspace here, and then you can open them and they will work like a real router. Let me show you. So you click on this network devices, this one, and after that, click on the routers or click on the switches. Take this 2960 switch in here. Let me zoom for you as well so you can see. So this is a switch like a real switch. Then you can click on end devices and take PC number 1 from here, then take PC number 2 from here. So I have given you a scenario that the PCs, then click on cables, connect them together, click on automatic cable again, click and then connect them together. Now your question is, will they be able to talk to each other or not? So to check that one, you can write your IP addresses here as well. Let's say we discussed that it should be 10.0.0.1/24. And this one should be 10.0.0.0.2/24. And let's say there will be another one which is 192.168.0.2/24. So you can practice it yourself. I want you guys to do practice. Let's say this is also a PC in here. So we will do the experiments on these PCs. Let me connect that as well. So we connect these pieces together. We click here and click here as well. So now you can give them IP addresses from here. Just go to desktop, click on, or just go to config, go to Ethernet, and then you can give IP address and subnet mask here as well. Or you can go to desktop, click on IP configuration, you can give it here. So 10.0.0.1, and the subnet mask is 255.255.0, just like normal what you are assigning. That's all what we have done. Now I go here, I also assign it an IP address, which is 10.0.0.2, and this mask is 255.255.255.0. So 3 times 255. Don't worry what is 3 times 255, 1 time 255. We will study in subnetting as well. I come here, then I need to give it 192.168.0.2, and the subnet mask is default. Now let's see whether they ping each other or not, right? So let's check it practically, not just talking. So I want you guys to do the practicals like this yourself, make different scenarios so that you can learn yourself from it. Go to command prompt and click in here, just say ping. Ping means it's a test message in which you can test that whether we can ping, whether we get reply from the other side or not. You can see that they are pinging themselves without router because they are on the same network. But let's try to ping 192. There is a reply. Whenever you see a reply from, it means the PC number 0, this one can talk to PC number 2 on the other side. So then you can try to ping 192.168.0.2. You will see that it will fail Why? Because they are separate networks. We need a router. We need to do the routing protocol. We need to do static routing or dynamic. So it's a lot of things which we need to do because now they are different network. You can see request timeout. It means it cannot ping. So it means whatever I was teaching you, it has been proved practically now. You can see they are unable to ping. This communication is not happening. But this communication is fine. They are able to ping to each other. They are able to share files. They are able to send messages to each other. Why? Because they are on the same network. Their digits are almost same. But this digit 192.168 belongs to another class, another network. So they are not able to ping to each other. So what should we do in that case? What should be the correct configuration? Physical, it means the person who designed this network did not know much about it. So we go there, we just take this router. When you are practicing, you must try this 2811, I would suggest, okay? So he will go here, he will delete this cable from here, then move this PC a bit down, then take this automatical cable, connect this one here, and then connect this one here. Then you will see that they are able to ping to each other. Go to the router, enable both of the ports, config, enable these ports, on and on. You just need to assign them IP address. So this FA0/0, what should be the IP? Anything in the 10 subnet, 10.0.0. Let's say .100. Subnet mask should also be same, .255.255.0. Then we go to this port FA0/1. And then we need to assign. Guys, don't worry if it looks a little bit complex to you. I am giving you the idea. These are preparation classes because we are jumping into so many topics. So don't worry. When we study from 1st of June, we will study everything from Streamline, but you will see that all of these things will build concepts in your mind. So you will know a lot about all the things which we will be discussing. .100 at that time, right? Now let's see whether we can ping or not. So 192.168.0.2, the same thing. We try to ping because there is no routing protocol in between them. So we go to router again, we go to CLI, we say show IP interface brief. So it's a lot of things actually which we have to do now for these things to work. So show IP route, we can see there are two connected route 10.0.0.0, but the conversation will go too deep. But actually it will work when you configure the routing properly. When you enable OSPF or something on this one, then they will be able to talk to each other, right? So this is how the switches and routers, they work and they connect to each other. You can practice yourself using this simulation software. This is Cisco Packet Tracer. You can draw a switch, but don't go for these complex things. Just delete them. Try to make small and simple networks. Just try, just like you said, one of our friend here, I don't remember the name. So he said that whenever we have two PCs, let's say we have one computer here, one computer here. So what should be the simplest solution, guys? We should connect them together. We don't need a switch in between them when there are only two devices. When you have two computers, you want to share file between them. Just connect them. They will be able to ping each other. They will be able to share files with each other. But I want you guys to experiment yourself. Okay. Please, Ibrahim Ibn Al-Hasan says, is it case sensitive? No, I guess. In Packet Tracer, I'm not sure. So you can see here that if we write ping or either we write ping, so both are working. So in Cisco, it is not case sensitive, but in some vendors like Huawei, like Nokia routers, it is sometimes case sensitive as well. Also, it depends on the model of the switch or router and simulation platform. So, but you must try always lower caps only. Okay, now there are a few questions from Mr. Opio. Let me unmute you, sir, Mr. Opio. And yes, Mr. Opio, Brian, Peter, please speak up, sir.
Yes, I'm back again. I wanted to ask maybe what could be, what is the meaning of request timeout and like when you're pinging?
Okay. Ping means actually request timeout means that it could not reach. Ping is a protocol actually which sends. Ping is a protocol which sends a test message to check whether the other side is okay or not. It is just like saying hello, are you okay or not? and then the other PC replies. So ping is a protocol which helps us to do the testing. Request timeout means that it sent a packet, but the request never reached back. So there was no reply. Reply means that yes, there is a reply. And then the other things they are telling us that what was the TTL, how was the quality of the link, all of that. So this one tells us that it sent 32 bytes one time, and the time it took was less than 1 millisecond. It means the communication was very good, and TTL, which was returned, was 128. And there was a reply from this one. So it tells us a lot of things. We will study in ICMP in detail.
Okay, thank you.
It is based on an ICMP protocol. Also, there is a very good video on this one, which we prepared for ICMP and ping, that how does ICMP and ping protocol work. So I think you must go for that one as well. Let me share the link with you. Animations, not DNS. It should be in the server somewhere. Give me 1 second, guys. Go to cheat sheets. We go to animations. This one, how traceroute works and how does the ping protocol work. So we have prepared these very good presentations as well. Let me share with you these videos. Give me a second, guys. Meanwhile, if you have any question, please keep on writing. I'll unmute you if you want to speak up as well. It is also there on our YouTube channel as well. So all of these videos, they are also there on our YouTube channel. You can also get it from there. So this is how ping protocol work. Let me play this one. So basically, whenever we ping from a source to the destination, it sends a packet. The packet gets TTL dropped on every station. Then a reply comes from the destination. This is source, and then this is destination. It means it will send another packet as a test. It will pass through each of the hop, and then the answer will come. So let me fast forward, and then finally it says, okay guys, the ping has been successful, very good, something like that. So we have these kind of videos as well, which you can use during the training course. Admin can send the link to you if you need. Mathobli says how to book a space for June session. Mr. Mathobli, you have to enroll, you have to make the enrollment. So simply go to our website in here, networkbox.com, then go to the course page. Go here, click on the CCNA, whichever training course you are looking for. So this is our website. In here, just use your Visa or MasterCard or debit card. Visa or MasterCard or American Express. Click on the link which the payment you want to make. So click, let's say you want to pay, you want to divide into installment, or you want to make full payment. Better to make full payment so that you can avoid the charges. Everyone else, guys, whoever has not completed the enrollment, please complete it so that you don't face any issues from the admin side. So you click on the payment, whichever you want to make. Let's say you want to pay $9 or $20. So you click here, just enter your email, enter your card number, that's all, and click on the payment. You can also pay using the PayPal as well, which is on the bottom, that option if you have a PayPal account, but better to go for this one. Let me share this enrollment link with you. Guys, whoever has not completed the enrollment or did not make the payment, please do it, because then I will start getting messages from admin side, sales side, then it becomes difficult and it interrupts our technical learning as well. So Mr. Opio, is it clear, sir? We were on your question. Okay, welcome.
Yes,
welcome.
it is clear.
Okay, welcome, brother. And then Imka says time to leave. TTL is a value, Imka, on layer 3 IP packets, which gets decremented on each hop so that we can know that the packet has come back after how many hops. So it is a utility inside the IP packet. Imka says, does that mean OSP of a RIP protocol must be configured before a PC on a different IP range will talk to each other? Yes, Mr. Imka. So they should be talking to each other as soon as we need some sort to forward the packets. Mr. Olawale, you have a question, sir? I unmuted you.
Yes, I was thinking about when we said layer switch and layer and router. I have some switch that do the work of router, like layer 3 switches. Is it not advisable in place of router as well?
You are right, you are right. Got it. I got your question.
Okay. Okay, can we use the layer 3 switches in place of the router?
Yes, we can, but only for limited it will not give us full functionality. Let me explain again the same thing which I explained. We have devices which are called as layer 2 switches, right? They work on layer 2 of IP. We also have devices which are called as layer 3 routers. They work on layer 3 of OSI model, right? Now, they said, guys, these are less expensive and these are very expensive devices. So wherever we can use the switch, so please try to use the switch. This is their recommendation as well. So they are saying, guys, wherever you can use switch, so this should be your first priority. Then if you cannot, then go for router. But sometimes we need a little bit of routing along with switching. We need a lot of switching. We need a little bit of routing capability. Just like in our homes, in our offices, we have a Wi-Fi router which is called as modem. So that modem is actually a switch and a router. So that modem is like this. It has a lot of ports. Usually it has 5 to 10 ports, but there is a small routing modem as well inside them. It means there is a small module of router, but mainly it is a switch. So these kind of hybrid devices, they took some qualities from here, they took some qualities from here, and they prepared the device which is not so expensive like router, but it serves the purpose of the router as well. So we have a switch, we have a router. Similarly, they took some capabilities of the switches, they took some capabilities of the routers as well, and then they prepared the switches which are called as layer 3 switches. So it means that they are switches, they give us a lot of ports, but they work on layer 3 as well. They have a small router inside which can do some functionality only. So if you need a small functionality of the router, you don't need to buy this expensive device, just buy this device which gives you the functionality of the switch, functionality of the router, both of them. Clear? But what I would suggest, that don't go to study these hybrid devices, because I want you to understand layer 2 switches, the original device first. Just like when you are learning English, so you must focus on ABC first. You should not try to jump the words. Finally, you will be working on the words as well. So please try to understand this one 100%, this router 100%, because these are pure devices, original devices. Then you will know the technologies, you will know the concept, then you keep on moving to this hybrid, because hybrid devices are thousands and they will change from model to model. So you will always be confused. So always study this one first, then we will study everything. So answer to your question, yes, layer 3 switches can be used in place of routers on some places, not everywhere, because they have very limited routing connectivity. Okay, anyone else, guys? Any questions? Now let's discuss what is the difference between a switch and router. So this is like our physical network as an example. So here what do we have? We have this switch in between. This switch is connecting this server, this printer, this fax, so many servers, some clients together. And then finally it is being connected to this router. So this is a router in between. One network is connecting, the pink network. And then we also have this yellow network which is being connected. This is Wi-Fi network. So Wi-Fi router is also like a switch and it is connecting so many devices through Wi-Fi. Then this one sends all the traffic to the internet. So this is how our real networks look like in the real world, at our home, at our offices. Now what is the difference between a switch and router? So Mr. Polawale, let's focus in here. Let's understand. If we understand this one, then we can understand any hybrid device. It becomes very easy. So first of all, switches, they work on layer 2 of OSI model. Routers, they work on layer 3. These are the differences between them, switch and routers. So they work on layer 2, they work on layer 3. Switches, they usually have many ports. You can see from this one, this switch, it has around how many ports? Now 12, 48 ports. Let's say 24 ports. Why? Because we need to connect so many devices together on this one. We need to connect a laptop here. We need to connect our printer here, because they are all on the same network. So we will be connecting so many devices. So we need so many ports. On router, we might have only 2 networks in our office, which we want to connect here, just like we did 10.0.0.0 network. And then we have the second network, which will be connected here, 192.168. That's all. So the ports are less on a router, but the processing is a lot on the router because it has to route the packet. The workload on switches are very less because they are just forwarding, they are broadcasting the packets between different ports. They are just sending the traffic from here to there, here to there. They don't check in detail anything. That's why the frame is very simple of layer 2. We will see that one as well. So that's why they are also low cost, because we don't need extra software, extra processor, extra RAM, extra memory. So it is like a small computer. But routers are highly expensive. Why? Because they have dedicated software, they have a lot of RAM, a lot of memory, a lot of processor as well. Switches are providing us high data rates. Why? Because they are just based on the broadcast. They are not doing any intelligent working, but routers are doing so much intelligence. That's why they are giving us low, because they are working so much before they can make the decisions. So switches, we are not using any extra software. We are just using some ASIC, means those ASIC processors, application specific integrated circuits, which make it possible. But here we need to have, so router is more like a computer. If you open this one, then you will see inside there is a hard disk, there is a RAM, there is a processor, everything is there, right? So data forwarding decisions are based on the layer 2 frames and the MAC address in switches. But here they are used on the layer 3 packets and IP addresses. MAC address is a physical address which does not change. IP address is a logical address which always changes. Is Cisco switch and different from Huawei? Yes, Mr. Ibrahim, different companies. Ibrahim is asking, is if I buy a switch from Cisco and I buy a switch from Netgear or from D-Link or from Huawei or from Nokia, are they different? So yes, they are very different, and working on them is also different, the CLI, but technologies are all same. They are doing layer 2 switching based on the same principles which we are studying now. Okay, back to our lecture. So now the destination, yes, the default behavior of a switch. What is the default behavior of a switch? So let's say a laptop is connected on a switch. It sends a frame for which switch does not know where to forward. It does not know the destination. The destination, it was saying, I want to send the destination which has MAC address BBB. And the MAC address of this one is AAA. It means the source address is A and destination is B. If switch does not know, what the switch will do? Switch will forward to all the packets, to all the devices which are connected on all these ports without just thinking about them. So it will do a broadcast. So the default behavior of a switch is always broadcast. In the routers, because routers have to make intelligent decisions, if a laptop is sending a packet for which the IP address is unknown, you don't know the destination, then router will say, guys, no, I cannot take your request. I don't do broadcast. I am an intelligent person. So please check, and just check, where do you want to send the letter? Where do you want to send this packet or data? So this is very important point, guys. Please pay attention. Switches are doing broadcast, routers are not doing broadcasts. I will give you an example on this one as well. So most switches, they don't need to be configured before used. So you can buy the switch simply and then plug in, just like we plugged in two PCs, they started pinging each other. But routers are sophisticated devices you can buy, and then you can use them. So you have to do a lot of configuration before you can use them. So these are the differences of switches and routers. And then how do the switches do? Like I gave you the example. So this video is very important, guys. Please pay some attention, because this is what we will be discussing the whole CCNA. So it will come again and again. If you do not understand here, it will be difficult to understand the remaining concepts as well. So in this case, I prepared a video for you. In this video, in this scenario, this is a simple computer, and this is our switch in between, layer 2 switch. So D is saying that I want to send data to a PC whose address is D. D is also their address, like let's say MAC address. So it will send a packet from here. So can somebody tell me what will be the default behavior? Will A receive that packet or not? I just explained to you. Guys, please answer. If D is sending a frame, C is sending a frame to D, and it sends to the switch, switch doesn't know the destination. So will A receive the packet or not? Ibrahim says yes, he will receive. Redden says will receive. It goes to all. Muhammad says, Ola Wale says yes, receive. Justus says no. Imka says no. Joseph says yes. Inzer says yes, it will broadcast. Samson says all receive the message. All the remaining guys, please also speak up, guys. I want to listen from you so that you participate as well, like Mr. Dibango, Mr. Dumisani, Mr. who else is not Chibuke, Mr. Happy Chocha. Please speak up, sir. Please write your answer. Just even if you don't know, just try to make a guess. Many says yes, D will receive the packet because broadcast. Yes, Ibrahim receive. Robert Martin says Imka Any, Mr. Midin IO, Mr. Any Fiok, Mr. Wasio, Mr. Edik. Okay, Mr. Ibrahim Ibn Al-Asam Dibango. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so it looks like the concepts are clear now. Yes, every one of them will receive. Why? Because switches believe in the principle of broadcast. So when you send a packet to a switch, switch will broadcast to every device, every port. If there are 100 devices, it will forward to the 100 people. Yes, you are right, Motibili, if they are on the same network. Very good. This is also a point. Okay, so let's play the animation. Let's see what happens. So let's say DC is saying, guys, who is D? And then it sends a packet, which is a broadcast. The packet comes to the switch. Switch says, guys, I don't know, but I will forward to everyone. Let's play again. C says, who is D? C is sending to the switch. Switch receives. He says, I don't know, but I will forward and I'll try to find who is that. Then D will receive that packet. And then if the D does not receive, then it means no one has replied, right? But this is in the case of when no one knows anything actually. Okay, let me play the other one. I think I copied the other thing, this one. This one, switch versus router. This one I prepared for you guys. Okay, so let's play. This one is saying, guy, who is D? I want to send a packet. Switch says, guys, I don't know, but I will forward to everyone. So it has sent the packet to everyone. D says, okay, guys, I am your concerned person. And then D has sent a reply. This yellow one is a reply from D. So you can see the whole scenario that what is happening. So when this packet will reach back to C, C will say, okay, guys, thank you. I know now you are connected on port number 4. Let's say these are the ports, port number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now C knows and switch also knows, okay, where D is connected. So D is connected on port number 4. Now the normal communication will happen between them. So let me play the remaining animation. I'll play it again as well. C will say, okay, guys, thank you. Let's continue. The normal communication continues now. So it will start sending and receiving. Now onwards, the packets will not go to the unintended receivers, but initially they were going to everyone. Okay. So this was the default behavior, the video I played for you. So when a request comes to a switch, the switch will do the broadcast. So let's say C sends some data, then switch will send to a copy, switch will send to B as well, switch will send to D as well. But when there is no device, scenario number 2, I will send you these animations, everything as well. So then if there is no E, then it will try to look for E. And then final scenario, when there is a router, when it tries to do the same thing with the router, it sends the packet to the router. The router will send to each port or not? No. So the router will not do the broadcast. Router will say, guys, sorry, I don't know the destination and I cannot serve your request as well. So this is the default behavior of switch and router, what we discussed today. So I hope everybody is clear now, the differences between switches and routers, why we need networks, what is a network, how to create a test network yourself on Packet Tracer. So please practice this one. Please watch this recording at least 1 or 2 times, make up your notes. Also, admins will share these sheets, these cheat sheets and study materials, everything with you so that you can have an idea as well. So they'll send you this IPv4, please go through them. And next week we will study another topic from our full training. So guys, you got the idea today that how we are doing these preparation classes. So these preparation classes, basically there are 24 sessions in the full training course, right? This one. Let me open for you, give me a second. So this training course has 24 sessions in total. So today just we discussed about the fundamentals, that how are the switches and routers and network components. This we studied this one as well. So they'll share the training materials with you. You can study, they'll share the recording with you as well. So we are doing them one by one to give you an idea, so that when we start our training on 6th of June, you already know what is a switch, you already know what is a router, you already know what is the infrastructure component, what are the different parts of the network, why do we need them, what is a router, what is a switch, how do we connect two PCs together, two computers together. So next week I'll try to give you some more. Also, if you have any questions, any requirements, you can also talk to me. We can jump into them, but let's keep to the start, keep some initial topics so that you have very strong base when we start the full training. So full training will start on 6th of June on Saturday and Sunday. Now everybody is clear on this schedule, I think. So please complete your enrollment as well. I just got another message from admin that some people are still having. Olavala says, please send your Telnet everything inside zip instead of putting it to the group to put everything inside zip. No, if they put into the zip, because Olavale many people are using from their mobile. So they start asking that they don't have the zip folder and they are unable to open on the mobile. That's why they just drag everything into the group so that everybody can open directly from the mobile as well. So please bear on that one. Also guys, I received messages. People are saying they could not open the PKT file. The PKT file will open in Packet Tracer only. So go to here, just click on open after you install the Packet Tracer software. So please go to your drive once you have done the enrollment. So you might have received the username and password as well from the administrator in the welcome email. So go to this premium area. Do not create the username and password. This is for the free users, not for you. For you, this is the VIP premium area so that you have easy access for the enrolled students. So click on this premium area. Let me show you again one more time. So click on this premium area, enter the username and password. Sorry, only password which admin has given you. This one. And then you will receive, Olavale, if you have done the enrollment, it is in your welcome email. Otherwise, you can talk to admin as well. She'll share the file with you again, the password. And here you have all the files together. Click on the download button and then you can download as well any of the files. And these green ones, they will open only after installation of Packet Tracer on your laptop or your mobile phone as well, right? Other than that, there is also a Google Drive. The link is already there in your welcome email again. Vasu, please talk to admin. Admin, please write your WhatsApp number so that they can talk to you. Also, this Google Drive, everybody has received the link. So please install let me copy the Packet Tracer at least now so that everybody, even who have not done enrollment, let me share here. So guys, please install Packet Tracer from here, this software, so that you can open the labs. You can do this practice yourself as well. So it has everything. Also, it has official books. It has a lot of other things as well. But only install Packet Tracer. Don't go for any other software for now. It is not needed. So this is the number of admin guys, +27 766 222218. You can talk to her if you are still missing any file. Whatever we have discussed, she will share into the folder of your batch. So thank you for joining today's session. I will not take much of your time. I have already taken 15 minutes more than that. So thank you for joining guys. We'll see you in the next class. Whenever admin is holding, now you know the process that whenever they are holding a class, they will remind you into the group according to your local time. So please try to attend the live session so that you do not miss any lecture. You do not miss any session as well. So now there is a quiz which I want you guys to attempt before you leave. So let me finish few more slides on an idea. So we have different types of cables. Some cables are called as copper cables. When we have a switch and router, two different devices are connecting together, then we use straight cable. When two same devices are connecting, we use the crossover cable. And then console is used for switch to from the PC to router. So we have UTP, STP, Cat5, Cat6 cables, and then we have optical fiber cables as well. You guys can study this one. I'll share the link with you. These PowerPoints will be shared by admin. So please attempt a quiz now so that you have better idea. But I know I have not taught you everything for the quiz. So infrastructure, network components and cables. Admin, please paste the quiz of network components and cables. Okay, just give me a second, guys. I'll paste the quiz link in the chat window. But I can understand that, of course, we have not studied everything in detail. So you might not be able to attempt the quiz 100%. So don't worry, we have just studied half of that. So try to attempt whatever you can, whatever you cannot, it's fine. So please attempt this quiz, guys, whatever you know. So I want you to answer that what happens when a packet is sent from one side to another one, what happens when a switch is sent, so you can leave the optical fiber and those questions. So the quiz has been pasted by admin in the chat window. Please attempt the quiz. Let's go through before we close our session. So please do not spend much time. If you don't understand a question, you can skip it or just click on any option, because this is extra preparation class. I understand that not everyone knows everything about the quiz, and we have not studied as well. So we have studied half of the lecture because I wanted to give you the basic understanding first. So please attempt the quiz to have an idea. Please also write in the chat window once you have submitted the quiz. Okay, I can see Mr. Redden says it's done. Mr. Dibango says it's done. So thank you for attempting. Let's check the results as well, guys. So everyone else, please also finish the quiz. Please click on submit. Okay, very good, Mr. Red Peralta. Mr. Red Peralta 23 at Gmail, 9 out of 10. Very good. Even we did not study in full. So the rate of fast Ethernet is 100 Mbps. Not Ethernet is 10, but of course we did not study. So very good. And then 8 out of 10, Mr. Dido Ovusumanu at gmail.com, 8 out of 10. Very good. This one went wrong. So straight through cable between different devices, straight between similar devices, it should be cross cable. And then Buzwale, 8 out of 10. It should be straight through cable, but your logic is good when we are connecting for configuration purpose. Mohammed says he couldn't get admin, please send to him. Mr. Mohammed, please go to the WhatsApp group. You will find it there, or you can see in the chat window as well. And then Mr. Dinit, okay guys, very good.